Okay, so previously we have learned about like how can we can create the commit and so on, right? We have learned about the committing, and we also knew about git log, right? How we can see the commits history and so on. Okay, so that's awesome. Like we have basically initialized git. I have also after initializing Git, we have started working on staging. We have taken it to the committing area. We have committed, and we have basically checked those logs. Okay, now all of the stuff we are basically now going to practice on Code Cloud, because it will give us like multiple contributors kind of ecosystem in the labs. Okay, so let's go for that. Okay, let me start on it. So we'll basically start from the beginning to like multiple topics, and gradually I will make you understand what is the thing, how it is happening, how the things are going on. Okay, so let's follow the process. Okay, in the meantime, if you have any questions, feel free to ask the questions. And as you have come to know by now, like it is very important for students to understand, because most of the things developers do in the local system is basically Git. Okay, let's start understanding what's happening. So let's install Git first, identify the operating system. So here we want to understand the operating system. So all the time we will be having some sort of help from the hint system. Okay, so we're just copying and pasting that. So this is basically Ubuntu based, like a based system. So Ubuntu, but still we just want to know, you see, distribution ID is Ubuntu. So identify the operating system, which is basically, this is how we do. Okay, now install Git on the system. So as you have come to know, like previously in our other sessions, you have seen like we worked on basically on our local system, which was a Windows system. So in the system, we just need to download the Git basically from a browser. That was it, and just press something. But in Ubuntu, things are quite different. So first of all, we need to update this whole system, because basically these are open sourced, and then we have to actually use some codes. So these are few things which are new out here. For you, if you are using Ubuntu, it's going to be like not new, because you know sudo apt update is something to update all of the stuffs in our, because every time you want to install something, you have to update the whole stuff, and then you have to install. So here you can see this is basically our git command which we are going to use to install, but surely this is not what you have to use in your Windows system. Okay, so let me first of all clear these out so that you can see. Okay, let me paste it down. Sudo apt, then install git -y, which means yes. Okay, because if you just keep apt install git, it will actually ask again, okay, are you sure? Then you have to give this y. So we have installed that. Let's check this out down. Like, okay, if we have done that, okay, done. We have installed git in our Ubuntu system. Okay, identify the version of the git. So basically git version dash version, which is the same. I just don't want to write it down. Just copy paste. Sorry for that. It would have been taken much less time. Okay, git version, so it is 2.7.1. 2.17.1. Okay, great. Now let's move on to another thing. Like they're saying, like we will learn more about working with different git commands through the help. Okay, no issues. Now let's know about like GitHub. So how it helps, how this git help command helps. Basically, the thing is, if you make some mistake in commands, maybe you're new, so if you just press git help, there will be a lot of commands which you will understand right now. So let me just clear it down again so that you can see all of the things. Git clear, git help. Okay, now you can see after pressing git help, we came to know about like, did you know, actually did you remember like we used clone previously, right? This clone, so clone a repository into a new directory. So you know, git init to create an empty git repository. So all of the most of the things, reset, we will use reset. Also we will use status, we will use branch, checkout, commit, merge, rebase, fetch, pull, push. These are the things we are going to use in the whole series. Okay, so don't worry, there are a few other things like move, remove, this kind of thing. These are very much normal stuff. And also we have used add, right? Move, remove, these are kind of move from one directory to another or something. These are not that much of important. Okay, but still, if you're using within because why we are using actually move and remove, these are important. Why here? The thing is that we're tracking the whole system, right? Like assume that one has started working and he has decided, okay, this folder should not be here, let's remove it here. So other folks should know like where it has been moved. So if you actually use git move and something, so it will be tracked as well. Okay, so and mostly in ubuntu or something, you just can't go there and pick and something, you just have to do all of the stuffs in your command line. Okay, that's the thing. Now we have to find out show various types of objects. Okay, now let's go for this. Like we can see show various type of objects is basically show. So we are going to press this show, no issues. Great. Now we're going to use what's the git command used to list, create or delete branches. So basically this is basically related to branches. So we are going to go for the branch. So you can see list, create or delete branches. So it is basically a branch. Okay, great, no issues. Okay, so like what's the git command used to download objects from another repository? Okay, so you can say download objects and references from another repository. This is basically fetch. Okay, and also these are quite kind of what I would say is kind of similar, but not totally, because you can see, you will later on see that fetch is download objects and references from another repository, but pull is fetch from and integrate with another repository or a local branch. It's a lot of things, kind of pull, changes and so on. Okay, we'll see that. But basically fetch is used when you are in your local system and you want to actually get all of the things which are in the remote repository in your local system. But pull is basically you're working now. Okay, you have done already fetched it, you have made some changes, maybe there's new update in the remote repository, so you want to pull the changes. Okay, all the things that have been done, pull it here so that I am up to date. Okay, we will understand that, no worries, just see the whole series. Okay, now the thing is, what's the git command used to download objects from another repository? So we can see, which is basically going to be fetch. Okay, great. Now what's the git command used to start a working area? To start a working area, right? Start a working area or start something, what we have to do, let's see, do we need to add it? No, because add is not in the working area. It is basically to take it to the staging area, but init is something to work on the start a working area. Okay, so previously we have already seen what we have done. So to take it to the staging area, we are using add. To take it to the commit, we are using git commit. But to initialize it, basically as a start, we are just using init. Okay, that's the thing. You can also see like create an empty git repository or reinitialize an existing one. So it should be git init. Okay, great. Now you may view additional help on each command following the syntax GitHub and then after the something. For this you must first install GitMan pages using the command sudo apt. Okay, we're just using this one. It is not that much related. Okay, just installing GitMan and we're basically going to get help from it. Okay, command and identify the options used to. Okay, done. So basically what they ask for is and identify the options used to create repositories, right? Okay, no issues. So here basically git help init and identify the options. Okay, so what we can see is like there are a lot of options, right? So here if you see the bear, create a bear repository. Okay, dash bear. This is not that much of a use, but still no issues. So